Live from Latrobe Motorsports Studios, this is Ride Along with Howie, from the fast half-mile track at Latrobe Speedway, where it's grassroots racing at its finest. Here's Howie.
2021 four-cylinder champion as Paul Koffler III, and then we're going to talk to his teammate, rookie sensation Joe Jacobs, pilot of the Taco Bell, Ed's Equipment, number 48. Gentlemen, welcome to Ride Along.
How's it going, Howie?
Good. How about you guys?
Good.
Appreciate you guys taking time out of the schedule. I know you're up at the K&S Motorsports Complex, and I know you guys had to have a big party. Paul, I know you picked up probably the win you wanted in a race you didn't want to race in. You lost your good friend, Jeffrey Vasos, earlier this year, and sorry for your loss. And when we announced that we were going to do a tribute to him because he was our Summer Sizzler champion last year, you marked that race on your schedule, and you said, I don't really care how the season goes. If I only have one win, that's the win I want. I want to honor my friend. And you were able to pick that win up on Saturday. And there wasn't a dry eye in that victory lane. I mean, you know, a lot of people might not be familiar with Jeffrey, but just a little insight. He started his career on dirt, made the move to asphalt, ran asphalt for, I don't know, I guess you'd say a season and a half, not even 2 full years. He picked up a championship as a rookie at Jennerstown, racing in honor of his buddy, Andrew Paluda, who passed away. And he had a bucket list, and he wanted to follow you down to Bristol this, I guess that's in April, May, in springtime. And you guys actually built a Koffler chassis car for him to go and race Bristol, and he was going to race on dirt this year, and we lost Jeffrey early. How rewarding was it to win that feature and honor your friend?
That was the best win of the season. The only one I wanted all year.
And it has to be somewhat gratifying. You are in the record books. I mean, you know, you were probably the main reason why Jeffrey came to Latrobe last year was he wanted to pit by you, and you guys were good at working together and making him faster. I mean, you know, he basically threw a car together to come to Latrobe. And I know you and your family, the Koffler chassis team and K&S Motorsport, took him under your wing, we'll say. And, man, you had him running fast all year.
Yeah, we try to help whoever we can out to make them faster each week.
You know, you don't see that in racing anymore. And that's the old style of racing from Bill Audie. And I just remember he's like, Howie, if you beat somebody, you want to beat them because they're running. You don't want to beat them because they fell out of the race. And that's how your dad is. I know I'll go down there and he'll be over there trying to help somebody get their car faster, and your car kind of gets pushed to the side. And you just don't see people like that anymore.
Yep, we try to have all our stuff together so we don't have to do anything at the track.
And you actually built a new car this year too, and not a bad year. You got 4 wins so far with that new car?
Yeah, 4 wins, a lot of second place finishes.
Been a very fast car. And one thing, I mean, I guess I can ask you, you know, no 2 cars are the same. You and your dad built them. Your old car was a Sunfire. This one, I believe, is a Cobalt.
It's a 4-door Cavalier.
I'm sorry, a 4-door Cavalier. But you just mentioned one thing. The Sunfire was 2 doors, and this is a 4-door. So, you know, they might be on the same letter frame, we'll call it, you know, like a G body or something like that. But that's about the only similarities in them.
Yep.
How come you guys like the 4-door cars better?
Lighter. We can put the weight where we wanted at.
What makes it lighter? Just the fact, I mean, it's still the same amount of metal, or am I wrong?
Yeah, it's a little less. little less metal. We cut some more out of it to put the weight where we wanted it.
And this new car, it's been fast. But your old trusty car, you handed off to your teammate, Joseph, who's sitting beside you. And man, he's had a hell of a rookie season in that stock 4-cylinder class.
Yeah, most definitely. He impressed everybody, I think.
And, one thing with you guys is not you just show up. Your dad made you work on cars before you got a chance to drive. Was he that hard on your cousin, Joseph, too?
Yeah, we've been working on cars for as long as I can remember.
What made you decide to finally get behind the wheel?
It's been something that I've always wanted to do. I just never really took into it as much as they did until here recently. I don't know. I love it. I love cars. It's just it fits.
And we talked about how you guys do this as a family, and it starts out with, let's talk about how you two are related. You're cousins, but I don't know the direction the family tree went, we'll say.
My uncle Paul and my mother is brother and sister.
Okay, so your mom was a Koffler.
Yeah, originally, yeah.
Okay. So, and then it actually started with your grandfather, Koffler, who started racing, or did Dad start racing before Pap?
My dad did.
Okay, that's what I thought. And then you came along.
Yeah, well, then my dad, my pap, and my mom, then when I was old enough, I went to racing.
See, I never really had the opportunity to see your mom race because I really didn't get to know you till you came down to Motordrome, and that was when it was you, Pap, and your dad. And from that team, you got the Grubs going, you got Joseph going, and you guys are all related.
Yep.
Not like the West Virginia relation, but I mean, you guys are all. If I remember right, you married into the Grubs, right, Paul?
Yeah.
Okay. So you guys get down there, and there could be as many as 7 cars in that pit area.
Yeah.
With CJ, he also races with you guys. Josh, Jeremy, Dale, your dad, you, Joseph, and your mom crawls behind the wheel once a year, and she's normally the one who gets to victory lane first out of the whole family.
Oh yeah.
She got to come in and make sure your setups are good, doesn't she?
Yep.
So now, what was it like when you were a kid and you were going to Farmington? Is that where?
Yep, that's where they started at.
Now, did you get to turn many laps at Farmington, or?
I ran
2 seasons? I think you ran
2 seasons up there.
I'm sorry, what?
I ran a half season up there. Paul ran 2 seasons, 2 full seasons.
Okay. Did you guys race in the same class?
Yeah.
Yeah, but by the time I started racing Farmington, that's when Paul was going to Motordrome.
Okay. And then your mom decided to retire after Farmington?
Yeah.
Okay. Now, what was it like for you? Farmington, small track, and then you're going down to Motordrome, NASCAR land, and racing on the asphalt. Did it take a lot to get used to not sliding the car?
A little bit. But once you race on dirt, you can race on any surface.
Is it easier to go from dirt to asphalt versus asphalt to dirt?
Absolutely.
I'd say so.
Why? Just because you got to have more car control on dirt?
More car control on dirt, and you can take that driving style to asphalt, and you'd still be okay.
What were some of the changes you noticed, like setup-wise, whenever you've been – I mean, you're a champion on dirt. You're a champion on asphalt.
It took us a while to get a good setup on asphalt, a couple years, and we finally got it, and we was good after that.
And then you ventured up to Jennertown, and you also won features in a championship there. And you won features at Roaring Knob and Latrobe. But again, not all dirt tracks are the same either. You've
No.
won from basically racing around, and I was never at Farmington, but they said you're basically going around a couple of telephone poles, very small tracks. So you got to make sure your car is working good because you don't have any track to make up ground. And then you were going basically to the Talladega of dirt tracks, Latrobe.
Yep.
Anything that you could take from those tracks, Farmington, I mean, probably from the Knob to Latrobe, I'd say, but, dealing at Farmington, it was probably, that book stays at Farmington.
Car control is the biggest thing in a lot of tracks. Just you're going 10 times faster over Latrobe than you are anywhere else.
Do you like the speeds?
Absolutely.
Now, I noticed earlier this year, your teammate, he did a modified 4-cylinder race driving the Vasos car. Now, are you guys going to try to move him up?
Yeah, absolutely.
Now, will you modify out your old car, or are you going to build him a new one?
Building him a new one. We're supposed to go pick it up next week.
Now, what do you do with the trusty stock car?
It'll be up for sale starting this week.
You don't have anybody junior team waiting in the wings?
Nope. It'll be a for sale, so it'll start this week.
I'll give you a candidate's name. You know her very well. You call her Mom.
Yeah.
You think Mom would jump in it, or she doesn't want to do it anymore?
I don't know. I think she just likes the Mother's Day race.
What about the make that the estrogen car for the women, the wives, and everything?
I don't know about all that.
How about your grandfather? You think he'd ever get that itch to get back behind the wheel, or?
I don't know.
It would take a lot.
I mean, I remember, man. He was number 1, wasn't he?
Yep.
He had the flame and everything on his Sunfire.
Yeah.
And the number.
Yeah, he started with 27 though. That was his first number.
Okay, I didn't realize that.
Yeah.
I remember Paul ran the number 20. Paul the third ran the 27. What, 1 year or 2 years?
Yeah, that one new car we built when my pap was sick here, we built it and surprised him when he came in from the hospital with the decals on it.
Now, where did your number come from?
Just went to Motordrome. We started racing down Motordrome. Somebody had that number, and I just picked another one.
Jimmy Johnson fan, or not necessarily?
Yeah, we was.
And then your dad was number 5. They must have really liked you to go double numbers because, Kofflers like to race inexpensive, and those, single digits are a little less than the double digits.
Yep.
So you could tell Pap must have, you were the spoiled one.
Oh, yeah.
You plan on going back and doing any more asphalt racing, or that's done with for now?
Done with for now.
Just didn't like it, or?
Yeah, we win more money on dirt.
Well, talk about winning money. What about your teammate? $1,000 win on Saturday night in a stock 4-cylinder. That's insane.
Yeah, it is. That's good for building a new car. That's for sure. It's gonna help.
And you know what? You got to appreciate a company site for stepping up and being a divisional sponsor. And you guys, even in your class, and I'm not trying to take away from it, but it's a stock 4-cylinder class. It's the most entry level class you can get, and you guys get good pay every week, don't you?
Yeah. I mean, I don't really do it for the money. I do it because I love doing it. It's fun.
And I understand that. I mean, trust me, all of us got to go to work tomorrow morning in some capacity. We're not rich, but by the same token, we can't go broke doing this either. And, you guys that class is really developing, and, you like Mark Catone used to say, you're taking a gun to a knife fight, because you have to know when you go there that the car is going to be the best it can be, because you got 3 generations of Paul Kofflers who worked on it.
Absolutely.
So that just means you got to focus more on driving and not have to worry about, man, is something going to fall off on this? And, but I got to compliment you. I don't think you've really put a wheel out of place all year. And everybody thinks it's just so easy. You jump in a car, you strap on, and let's go do laps.
Yeah.
But you didn't hide the fact that that's a K&S racing car. You embraced it. You even kept Paul's shagadelic wheel covers on it. And, it just says so much. Like, a lot of guys would want to shy away because, just the pressure of being with the Kofflers. But that's your family. And I'm not saying that you should have shied away from it, but you embraced it. And you ran that 48 as a tribute to Paul, and you didn't hide the fact on what team you're with.
No, and to be honest, at the beginning of the season, before the season even started, I told them, I was like, I just don't want to let you guys down. That's all. Because Paul, I don't know. I've never seen somebody who could drive a race car like him, besides his dad. And just getting the knowledge and to learn from them every week, it's a completely, it's a better experience when you got people with experience.
Yeah. And, it's probably, you got an advantage because Paul's racing with his dad, and it's that father and son relationship that at some point Paul's going to think he's smarter than his dad. And I'm not saying he is or he's not, but you have that. I don't care how good relationship you have. At some point, it's going to be like, man, you've been out of this car too long, old man. Trust me, I'm telling you how we're doing this. And, although your dad's liable to slap you and jump in the car and go out and win himself. But, you don't have to, it's the uncle-nephew relationship where you're soaking up all that knowledge.
Yeah.
And then you got the cousin, too. Paul's going to tell you, they're very honest people, and they're going to tell you, listen, you messed up going into 2, and, you need to go apologize to that guy, because that's just how the Kofflers are. If they make a mistake, they're the first ones to admit it. And, you haven't made many mistakes if you made any.
Yeah, like I said, it's really nice. Like when after heat races and everything, they come up, they tell me like, hey, why don't you try this, or why don't you try this? Everything they tell me to try, it works. And like I said, that car's been amazing for what it is. Like, you can't get no better of a car than that.
You sure you want to sell it and maybe not make that into your modified?
No, I think we're gonna build a new car.
We're gonna be twins.
We're gonna be twins next year.
Identical, but what is he gonna be 84 and you'll be 48?
I'm gonna be 27.
Oh, okay. Go back to Grandpa's number.
Yeah.
Both gonna be black with the fluorescent green.
It's gonna be fluorescent yellow next year.
Okay. New wheel covers.
But still gonna be pink.
Covers.
You're gonna leave them pink?
Yep.
Yeah, it's gonna be.
The pink and fluorescent yellow.
I'm sure it's gonna be a badass looking car. And are you also gonna have a 4-door Cobalt or Cavalier?
Yes. Yep. That's what our plan is.
Is it hard to find those cars?
It has actually been really hard to find one.
You guys were loyal to the Sunfires. How come you're getting away from them? Just harder to find?
They're not too much harder to find. We got the setup in the 4-door now. It handles 10 times better than the Sunfire does.
Okay. Well, you had a 4-door car before. Your last 27, Paul, wasn't that a 4-door car?
No, but the last one was a 2-door. We sold it. And my first 4-door we built, I wrecked it.
But was it a 27?
Yep.
You wrecked it at the knob, didn't you?
Yep.
Yeah,
Okay.
hit his own car.
Hit my own car.
Well, that's talent to do that.
Oh yeah.
Now, what's going to happen with the 12? Are you guys going to run that car some too?
No, I'm not sure. My dad said that Saturday was his last race. So
You mean Dad retired?
yep, he officially retired.
Oh wow. What about Bristol? Are you guys going to head down south again?
I don't know yet. We'll see.
Now, I got a question for Joseph. What was it like the first time they belted you in that car and you're at Latrobe and you're flying down that front stretch going into turn 1 or turn 3? What's going through your mind?
Going into turn 1 the very first time, or no, actually, it was going into turn 3 the very first time. Is when I broke the axle in hot laps. I didn't even get a full lap in.
Okay.
And then the heat race, going into turn 1, I was like, I'm going way too fast. This car's not going to turn. And I was freaking out. The first couple weeks was pretty nerve-wracking for me. I had butterflies real bad. But like I said, listening to them guys, man, they tell me how to run the car in there, and I run it in there, and it sticks, it stays. It's amazing.
How about getting into the 12 car?
That like when I got into 12 car, it kind of brought back those same nerves from the first race, because not only it was somebody else's car, and it was Jeffrey's car, which really made it a lot worse for me, like nerve wise. Like the last thing I wanted to do was tear that car up.
Well, you did a good job and didn't even put a scratch on it, thank God. And or did you put a scratch on it?
Yeah, I got put into the guardrail on the last 2 laps.
Whoops.
Yeah.
Who did that?
Who was that? I don't remember.
Might have been that 48.
Yeah, it might have been a 48. You're probably right, Howie.
But you know, it's great to see how no matter what, we're still going to have Jeffrey always here with us. And you guys were one of the first teams when we started talking about doing a Jeffrey race. It didn't matter what we needed. You guys were in on it. And like I said, I know there wasn't a dry eye in that victory lane. And I don't have favorites, but I consider every car primer and duct tape numbers. But I also know there were a lot of people in the stands happy to see you get that win, Paul, that knew the relationship of you and Jeffrey.
Yeah, it was definitely a tough one, an emotional one for sure.
What were you thinking on race night when you knew you had a fast car? I mean, just to make sure everything stayed together.
Yeah, definitely. I hate to see. Me and Tyler I was running down Tyler there halfway through the race, and he ended up having mechanical issues. I hate to see that happen to anybody, but then I took the lead, and it was just smooth sailing from there.
Now, it seems like a lot of the guys like those neons. Have you guys ever had a Mopar or Ford?
No.
Steve had a couple.
Yeah, Steve did.
Okay. Now, when you guys raced with Steve, how did that work? Did you guys race out of the same shop, or did you guys all work on each other's cars?
Yeah, we helped Steve a lot out on his car. He lives right across the street from us. So,
You think Steve will come back, or is he retired now like Dad?
I think he's all but retired.
I think he all but said it.
Now, what does the future hold for you guys? Do you want to stay in the 4 cylinders? Are we going to see that 4th generation of Koffler? You know, I know, Paul, you have 3 kids. Joe, I'm not sure about your parenting 5. Do you guys I know your boy was probably into it, Paul, but do you see girls getting involved?
I don't know. Maybe one day, hopefully.
What about you, Joe?
So they're interested one week, and then next week, they're kids. So hopefully.
You know, this past Saturday night, I'll tell you what, Latro is great for the family too. And this past Saturday night, I know Brett Hutera, he sponsored the ice cream giveaway. And, you know, I always see, I'm not sure which kids are yours, Joe, and I apologize for that. But I always see like your kids, Paul, and they're running up and down when Joe wins, when Daddy wins. Your daughter, she's a big Brett or Anthony Monapart fan. Your younger daughter, your middle child. Do you see like I said, either the girls being involved or the next one out of your family is going to be your boy, and not knowing what.
Yeah, my oldest is starting to get more involved. She hates missing the races, so maybe.
Would you make them start out like your dad made you, washing the cars, or you're
Yeah,
going to give the.
every time she can, she's up in the garage trying to do something.
And it has to be great just spending all that time with the kids. Would you guys do go-karts for the kids, or you don't think they learn enough there to do it?
She raced once. The oldest one raced once, one weekend, but other than that, she wasn't into it.
Go-karting is a really expensive sport.
Yeah. Yeah, that's for sure. It's just like the E-mods. They forgot what the E stood for, economy. It's everything.
Yep.
But you guys also have some great sponsors that help you out. And let's go ahead and talk about the sponsors and the rest of the pit crews that keep both the 48s running up front.
We got Carry All Products, Ed's Equipment, Taco Bell. My dad and my pap, we work on the cars every week, get them ready. Other than that, that's about it.
How about you, Joseph? Do you have anybody else you'd want to thank?
Just my mom, my uncle, my pap, and Paul. I mean, like I tell you all the time, Howie. Like if it wasn't for these guys, this wouldn't even be possible. So this is awesome.
Well, I want to thank you guys for taking time out of your schedule and going for a ride. More importantly, congratulations. I did some figuring out, and in the past 2 weeks, you got K&S Motorsports has taken over $2,000 home in 4-cylinder racing. That's not too shabby, is it, guys?
No, that's pretty good.
That's awesome.
And I'll tell you what, the one thing I do like, how Satoshi did it in honor of Jeffrey, was Jeffrey was against the top heavy purse. And I remember him telling me one night, he goes, Howie, whether you win or you finish 10th, you still pay that same pit entry. You're still paying the same price on fuel and everything. I'm not saying let's do participation money, but don't put it all up high, because that bottom guy who really needs it is not getting any of the pie. So they made it $160 or $170 to the 24 cars that qualified. 2 cars that didn't qualify, but we gave them the option to start, and they each got $60 bonus money, was Lance Shawley and Colton McNaney. And Colton's, I mean, I've never seen a 4-cylinder team at a track try to change a motor before, and they just couldn't get it done. And Colton even came up afterwards and said, listen, if you guys want your money back, I didn't earn this. But we're like, no, Jeffrey Reese Smile guys put in, just take that money. I wish it was more.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
most definitely. I'll give it all the credit in the world to Colton. They actually did get the motor all in, but it wouldn't start.
Yeah.
Yeah, utmost respect to those guys because that was a pretty awesome thing there. I thought they were going to get it.
We tried to give it as much time as we could, but with 7 divisions, we just had to get the show going. And, I felt kind of bad, but, and there were other teams up there helping them too. And I'm sure your dad probably.
Me and my dad was both down there helping them put it back together.
And like I said, that just shows the respect that you and your dad and how you guys were raised in this sport. A lot of teams might not do that, but you guys do. And I always call it the old Bill Audie racing psychology. Because I remember being at Jennerstown as a kid talking to Brian, and he goes, "Where's my dad?" And we're looking for his dad, and he's over there. Brian's leading points, and his dad's over there helping the guy second in points. And he's like, "Really, Dad?" He said, "I'm going to tell you right now, you win a feature, you win a championship, you're going to do it by finishing the race, and he'll lose it by finishing the race. Not this crap of him being in the pits."
Yep.
And that's actually old school racing, but, it's just great to see it alive at Latrobe. So, hey, again, I want to thank you guys. And Joe, I want to congratulate you on that big win. 9 wins, one of the top rookies in racing in Western Pennsylvania. And you're learning from your cousin who, whether it be on dirt or asphalt, he's won championships. And more importantly, he's the 2022 Jeff Vasos Memorial first ever feature winner. Again, I'd like to thank Paul Koffler III and Joseph Jacobs for going for a ride. Thanks again, guys.
Thanks, Howie.
Race fans, that's going to do it for another week of the Ride Along. And we'd like to go ahead and thank our sponsors: Joe's Body Shop and Towing, DJS Swag, Specialty Metals, K2 Engineering, Rock Auto, Seal Tight, Stone and Company, Latrobe Glass and Mirror, Vinyl Destination. And for those of you looking for a job, don't forget General Carbide is hiring, and their benefits start immediately. For more information, be sure to check out their website, and please support those who support racing. And remember, we'll see you this Saturday at the races.